Hey guys, this is my top 10 Elite Four members. These are based on my opinions, so if you have a difference of opinion, make your own top 10. I don't really care. These are just based on my opinions through playing the games, yada yada yada. So with that being said, let's get started. Starting off this list with a bang, number 10 is Drake, the true Dragon Master. No offense to Lance. He is my only Gen 3 Elite Four member that is on this list. Because quite frankly, I did not like any of the other Gen 3 Elite Four members besides Drake. His ace is Salamence, but he also uses Flygon, Shelgon, and a Kingdra, if I remember correctly. If you don't have an ice type on your team, he will give you some trouble. Also, you see him in the anime where he completely kicks Ash's butt and then destroys Team Rocket with a Salamence. So, yeah. Normally, like I said, I don't like dragon types, which is why he is so low. That's the main reason he's so low, is because I really don't like dragon types. But, other than that, he is a good Elite Four member, good challenge, etc., etc., etc. Next, number 9, taking it all the way back to Gen 1 with Lorelei, or Prima as she is known in the anime. Why they changed her name in the anime, I will never know. But her ace is Cloyster. She is an ice type master. She uses, if I remember correctly, Cloyster, Slowbro, Dugong, and I can't remember the rest of her team off the top of my head. But she really ain't much of a challenge as long as you got, a fire type and an electric type on your team. She is the first Elite Four member most of us have she is the first Elite Four member most of us have ever faced, being that she is the first one from Gen 1 that we face. She is also seen in the anime also kicking Ash's butt. Notice Ash never goes, after he wins 8 gym badges, he never goes and challenges the Elite Four and the champion because he knows he would get his butt kicked, especially by Cynthia. Cynthia would completely annihilate him. Oh, I would love to see that. I would really, really love to see, Charizard go in there against Garchomp and just get completely wrecked. But yeah. Anyway, Lorelei, real good Elite Four member, really freaking hot. And I remember right, she is the only Ice type Elite Four member ever. She is one of 3 Gen 1 Elite Four members that are going to be on my list. So yeah, the only one that has just as much as Gen 5 on my list. So yeah, but that's really all left to say about Lorelei. Next, going back to the recent generation, Gen 6, Melva. She is the only Gen 6 leader on my list because, quite frankly, the rest of them sucked. Not that Melva was not a walk in the park. She was pretty much a walk in the park. Her team is Pyroar, Chandelure, Torkoal, and Talonflame. That's her team. Believe me, her team was not that easy. A Surf pretty much killed everything. But she definitely has the most character development and the most personality. Being that, if I'm right, which I'm positive I am, she is the only Elite Four member to ever work for an evil team syndicate. In the fact that she works for she works for Team Flare. She's a member of Team Flare, and also she's a news anchorman. We pretty much see her throughout the whole anime doing, newscasts. Not the whole anime. We pretty much see her throughout the whole game doing, newscasts on the Holocaster, talking about what Team Flare is doing and that sort of thing. And I don't know her exact words after you beat her, but It's something like that she wants to burn you where you stand. I don't know if that's after you beat her or when you first talk to her, but she pretty much mocks you and taunts you, and then pretty much after you beat her, tells you that she wants to burn you where you stand. I have never heard an Elite Four member say something like that after I've kicked their butt. I want to burn you where you stand. Oh yeah, she is definitely evil, and she is definitely one badass chick. As for the other three members of Gen 6, no personality, and they all suck. Period. Period, period, period. So yeah, that's really about it as far as she goes. Don't really have much left to say on her, so yeah. Oh, real quick, one thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about Drake. I can't wait for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so I can take my Florges, and I can completely moonblast his whole team. Just saying. Next is Count Dracula himself, Grimsley. I can't remember his whole team off the top of my head. I know he's got a Scraggy, a Bisharp, a Liepard, and I can't remember what else he has off the top of my head. I think a Spiritomb. I could be wrong. But he's basically the Count Dracula of the Elite Four. He's the first Elite Four member from Gen 5 that we're seeing on my list, and he is one of my favorites. A very good Dark type gym leader. He has some of the best Dark types besides Lifer. So, yeah, pretty good gym leader. Real good gym. I keep saying gym leader. And I don't know why. Pretty good Elite Four member. And one of my favorites. I really didn't struggle with him because, like I said, I carry a fighting type on me, so pretty much Lucario pretty much destroyed everything. So yeah. Trying to think of what else to say about him. I don't know if he appears in the anime or not. I don't think he does. I don't think we really see any of the Gen 5 Elite Four members appear in the anime. At least I don't remember seeing any of the Gen 5 Elite Four members appear in the anime. But then again, I really didn't watch Unova because, quite frankly, Ash is an idiot in Unova. So yeah, he'd probably send out a Psychic type and use Psychic on Grimsley because that's how idiotic he was in Unova. So, but yeah, Grimsley, good Elite Four member. Pretty cool design. I love the Count Dracula design, especially with Dark types. You know, it fits him real nice, and he is a much better Dark type Elite Four member than that Mohawk guy. I think his name is Sydney or whatever. That dude with the Mohawk from, I think, Gen 3. Yeah, much better Dark type Elite Four member than him. Notice I didn't say the other Dark type Elite Four member because she's actually higher on this list than he is. So, next. Again, going all the way back to Gen 1. The Ghost type Elite Four member from Gen 1, Agatha. One of my favorites. Since in Gen 1 we only have 3 Ghost types, she has a various of poison types mixed into her team as well, like Golbat mainly. I can't remember her whole team off the top of my head. I think she's got 2 Haunters, a Gengar, and a Golbat. I don't know if she has an Arbok. It's been a while since I played Gen 1, so I can't remember off the top of my head. But basically, she gets a lot of character development in both the games and in the anime when she talks about how Professor Oak went soft. He used to be a great battler and all this stuff, giving us like an insight to how Professor Oak used to be before he became a professor. So that's really cool. You also see her in the anime where Gengar completely kicks Ash's butt. So yeah, that was real nice seeing Gengar kick Ash's butt. So yeah. I want to say more on Agatha, but I really can't say much more on her. So I guess we'll move on to the next entry. Next, we have another ghost type member of the Elite Four from Gen 5. Now I know everyone's going to throw a fit because I put her higher than Agatha, and Agatha is from Gen 1. She's the original. She should be higher. Yada, 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 yada. I like Chantel more than Agatha. Deal with it. Main reason, she has more ghost types. Granted, Agatha has the disadvantage of the fact that there was only 3 ghost types. So of course she's gonna have a little bit of a disadvantage, being that there were only 3 ghost types when she was around, and there's more ghost types in Gen 5. But still, I like Chantel more. Basically, as far as her look goes, she basically looks like Velma from Scooby-Doo with purple hair. The only thing we're missing is her saying Jinkies. But her team, also, Agatha wasn't much of a challenge. Pretty much if you had Alakazam, psychic everything. Or even Kadabra, psychic everything. So yeah. With her, she's a little bit more of a challenge because her team consists of Cofagrigus. It consists of Cofagrigus. This is challenge mode from Black and White 2. It has Cofagrigus, Gengar, Driftbloom, Golark, Frostlast, and Chandelure. Now that's pretty good type coverage. You can't just... I mean, you can go in with your own ghost type and Shadow Ball everything, but if you get Shadow Ball, you're kind of done. So yeah. But she's a pretty good Elite Four member, one of my favorites, but she is not my favorite from Gen 5. If you know any of my lists, you should know who my favorite Elite Four member from Gen 5 is, if you know any of my lists from the past. So you'll have to wait and see who's going to be higher out of the 2 fighting type Elite Four members. So yeah, next is Karen, the only Gen 2 Elite Four member that's on my list. I went ahead and pulled up her team, this way I can stop guessing about everyone's team. Because, let me look real quick. Her team consists of Weavile, Spiritomb, Absol, Umbreon, Houndoom, and Honchkrow. That's who I was thinking of when I was thinking of Spiritomb, because Grimsley does not have a Spiritomb. He's got a Crocodile and an Absol, not a Spiritomb. So yeah, that's who I was thinking of when I was thinking of Spiritomb during Grimsley's section. But she's got a pretty well balanced team. So you can't really go in there with, a fighting type and wreck her team because of the fact that she's got Honchkrow, and pretty much, she'll send in Honchkrow to take out your fighting type. Or she'll send in Spiritomb to, where your fighting type can't do anything, because at this point in Gen 2, I believe Scraggy was not an ability yet. And if it wasn't, and if it was, no fighting type had it, because the only fighting type that has it is Pangoro. So, yeah. But, pretty good Elite Four member. My favorite Dark type Elite Four member, the first Dark type Elite Four member. And she's the only Gen 2 Elite Four member on my list. Well, if you count Bruno. But I don't, I count him from Gen 1. She replaced Agatha, which is no small feat in replacing Agatha. They kind of switched from Ghost to Dark type, which was pretty cool. They introduced Dark types in Gen 2, so you either needed to have a Dark type gym leader or have a Dark type Elite Four member. Either way was good. But her team's real good, real well balanced out. You can't just go in there with a fighting type and sweep. So, yeah. That's really it on Karen. Not much more to say about her. I believe we're going to be in the top 3 now. Next, coming in at the number 3 spot, going all the way back to Gen 1, Bruno. I'm sure y'all expected this, being that I love fighting types so much. Y'all probably expected him to be 1 or 2. But he's 3, just because I kind of knock a few points off because he uses Onyx, which obviously is not a fighting type. Which, granted, in Gen 1 he was kind of limited. Gen 1 and Gen 2 he was kind of limited in the fighting. Actually, no, he was not, actually. Because you had Primate, you had Monchoke, Monchop, Mankey, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. Yeah, I think those were all the fighting types from Gen 1, I think. So, really, there was no excuse to use Onyx. Granted, Bruno is mainly associated with Onyx, especially in the anime, since he caught an Onyx. I always thought that was weird when I first played through the games. A fighting type Elite Four member has an Onyx, because I was not expecting Onyx, honestly. So, I kind of knock a few points off for him having Onyx. But in the anime, he looks real cool, real badass. Kind of tricks Brock and Ash into doing like chores for him and crap like that. Having, you know, Brock and Ash be his little workmen, and, you know, he was gonna give them the big secret to be great battlers and stuff like that. When he really has no battle secrets, he just wanted them to do work for him. So that was pretty funny. Granted, I wish he had kicked Ash's butt, but he didn't. But yeah, he is my favorite Gen 1, and if you want to throw Gen 2 in there, he is my favorite Gen 1 and Gen 2 Elite Four member. I more associate him with Gen 1 than anything. But yeah, so that's really it as far as he goes. Next, number 2 is Flynn. If anyone knows me, they know that fire is my second favorite type, so you shouldn't be surprised to see him this high. He is the only Gen 4 Elite Four member on here, because quite frankly, they have a bug type gym leader on here. Enough said. Bertha's alright, and so is Lucian. Lucian's alright too, but his team is basically, obviously, Infernape is his ace. Houndoom, not Houndour. Houndoom, Flareon, Magmortar, and Rapidash. Basically, Surf pretty much kills his whole team. So you got a water type, you can pretty much beat him. I think, I could be wrong, I think his Infernape has Thunder Punch, so if you get catch with a Thunder Punch and you don't have any other water types or revives on your team, you might be screwed. But yeah. Excuse me. Which who doesn't have revives on their team? When they go into the Elite Four, we probably buy like 400 revives just to be safe, and like 400 hyper potions just to be safe in full stores, etc. But yeah, in the anime, he's Vulkner's buddy, and he has Ash, you know, restore the fire, and Vulkner, another guy that kicked the crap out of Ash with just his Infernape, beat, I think, 3 of Ash's Pokemon with Infernape. I know he beat Ash's own Infernape and Pikachu with it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And Infernape is one of my favorite Pokemon, and that's his ace, so that's another reason he's high on this list. And he's basically, out of the 4 Elite Four members from Gen 4, he's basically the best to me. I mean, they have a bug type Elite Four member. No. And he has a Beautifly on his team, for the love of God. I mean, if you're gonna make a bug type Elite Four member, at least put some good ones. Like, I mean, I know they put Heracross and Scissor and Drapion, even though Drapion is not a bug type, but still. Um, but yeah, he's number 2 on my list. He's one of my favorites from both the anime and the games. But like I said, you know, pretty much a serve for X's whole team. But that's really it on Flynn. Now, Flynn is number 2 on my list. So you can probably guess if Flynn's number 2 and Bruno's number 3, you can probably guess who number 1 is. Number 1, of course, is Marshall. Why is he number 1? Because for one, he's the best fighting type Elite Four member ever. I don't care what anyone says. If they think Bruno is better, that is their opinion. To me, Marshall is the best fighting type Elite Four member. And if I said Gym Leader again, ooh, he is the best fighting type Elite Four member. If you think Bruno's better, that's your opinion. You're probably a Gen 1er and probably think Gen 5 is crap. But Marshall is my favorite Elite Four member, my favorite fighting type Elite Four member. Basically, when you walk into his arena to challenge him, in Black and White 1, he's got a boxing ring. In Black and White 2, he's got kind of like this wrestling arena with all the spotlights, and the spotlights on you and him battling, which is really, really, really cool. To me, you know, a boxing arena and a wrestling arena, really, really cool to have as a battlefield. And basically, you know, he says, you know, my mentor Alter has taken a liking to you, yada yada yada. I must test your skills as a fighter, yada yada yada. And then he battles you, and basically, this is his team. I believe it's the rematch in challenge mode. After you beat him, it's Sock and Throw, which is a formidable duo. Lucario, Monchamp, Mienshao, and Conkeldurr. Not a bad team. A very good team. But pretty much if you got a flying type, you can pretty much wreck his whole team. But, you know, I know Sock's got Sturdy. And not only does he have Sturdy, but he has Stone Edge. So if Stone Edge hits, you're pretty much done. So, yeah, and then, you know, after you beat him, he pretty much gives some speech about fighting and never giving up and yada yada yada. I really wish we could have seen him in the anime kick Ash's butt with Sock and Throw, or even Conkeldurr or Mienshao. That would have been really, really cool. But yeah, so this is the end of my list, and Marshall is my favorite Elite Four member. Leave your comments below. Who's your favorite Elite Four members? What do y'all think about my list? No hate, no Gen 1er hate. So, yeah, that's really about it.